Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mekkah Warpskips late game maps of Void's Blitzarre adventure. I've got Chapter 27 and Chapter 28 lined up for your viewing pleasure. Chapter 27 is called Convenient Lake because it has a very convenient lake and it's also a very convenient warp skip. As you can see by the map, the gate is very close to the starting point. It's just a couple of turns of flying away. So that means we just have to get Kirsten to the boss. The boss is Orson, and we already fought Orson before, or an Orson clone of some kind. So I'm not too scared. This guy is a necromancer. He does one-hit KO my intended boss killer, Kirsten, so we're gonna have to barrier her up. But once we've done that, he's actually very easy to one-round KO. His defense is very low, and so is his HP. And that means the only other thing we really have to do is get some XP for ourselves, repair the warp. We gotta use one more warp to get to the village way up in the north. And once again, we're going to have to do that with Anna. This time she doesn't have to be in danger at all. And everyone else is really just self-improving or making sure we can get the warp skip done. I buy one wind sword because I have enough of everything else in that shop, and I figure, hey, a wind sword might be good at some point. I believe in FV8 it has effectiveness against flyers, so that might be nice to have on Tim, for example, at some point, if I ever face another good flyer. I have Cilicia do the rallying once again, the barriering. And I get rid of a couple of Falcon Knights, for one because I want to get the XP, and for two because I don't want them harassing Void or Kaga or anyone really. I actually think they would both be fine, or I could make them be fine, but this way also gets some XP out of it. Really, most of the video length is not occupied by completing the chapter, but just by sitting around doing stuff. I make use of the select button once again here to make sure that Anna is in a completely safe spot. No need to dodge longbows or wyvern knights this time. She could just sit there and not get attacked at all. And next turn we can get the village and she'll be nice and safe. So there's a ton of enemies, not many of them actually move, not even from the start. I'm sure they would if I was in range. I had Tim get rid of a berserker that started like right next to him. For some reason this map took like a page out of The Last Promises book. And let an enemy start right next to me and it couldn't have that. I'm not sure if he could have killed anyone, but again, it's nice EXP. So Anna has exactly enough move once again to reach the village with Arishian Man, or Marv. Yes, with an F. And he spouts a bunch of references to that FE1 LP that you've probably all seen by now. It's got a lot of great memes. They don't really look as funny in this because without any context, it doesn't look as funny, but I did appreciate having it in the game. He's a swordmaster with like a bunch of skills, and for some reason he has 99 base EXP, which is quite insane. That means he will level up when he attacks. When I saw him, I was a reminder of Carol, and I was hoping he would have his growths, but unfortunately his growths are not nearly as good, so we're gonna give him the chance to show off his skills once against this Draco zombie. He gets Luna, and then next turn, or next attack he crits. Unfortunately this Draco zombie is bulky as hell and still survives, but it's fine because Marv only needs 1 EXP anyway. And, you know, if you don't gotta kill something, maybe don't kill something. That's nice. Be nice to your surroundings, people. Yeah, see, his growths aren't that good. I think he's better than Anna, though. Swordmaster Anna, stat-wise at least. But he can't do the triangle attack, so who knows, he might not be as good. Fun fact, I was toying around with Air Caliber on Jake, and I think when he uses it in battle, the animation actually stops, or rather, the animation continues, but the music stops during the battle. It's very weird. That might be a glitch. I think it is. And I think I've heard of it before. In fact, I think this is what happens if you try to use Air Caliber in vanilla FV8, if you hack it in, because it is in the game. Yeah, it's not just an FE6. I think the game just didn't think of, you know, the player actually having it. I guess that is the only real explanation. I love the warning signs. There's like a bow user nearby and Kirsten just flies in and ignores it, because who cares. She even got hit by one of the enemies, but it didn't matter. She still survives Fenrir either way. She's very close to surviving at full HP without the barrier boost, but she does need the barrier boost to guarantee it. Goodbye, darling. It's nice to see you again. I'm pretty sure they've missed some kind of boss portrait at some point, so I'm not sure why they're really using Orson. I did notice that they tend to copy FE8 bosses a lot without actually making them the FE8 bosses. They're always kind of different. When I tried to warp Void over, my game started lagging a lot also. It's kind of weird. Like, I just had to drag the cursor around, or it felt like I had to drag it instead of just being able to move it somewhere. And I think that persists for the rest of the chapter and then it stops. I really don't get why. It's not like there's a whole bunch of extra enemies or anything. In fact, I removed enemies and the game got slower. Very strange. But yeah, that's a Convenant Lake. A convenient Convenant Gate seized in 2 turns. Curb, why? Did Curb make this chapter? I don't know. I do know Curb is making a pretty awesome FE5 translation. Can't wait for that to come out. But yeah, let's move on to the next chapter. Chapter 28, which is mess.jpg. I think that's how you pronounce it. I know you're not supposed to pronounce every letter. Just like in French, by the way. Okay, so this map is different, but not very different. Once again, it's a Seas map. I thought the game was fucking with me when it said Seas Gate, so before I did the chapter properly, I actually tried seizing every other gate besides the boss one, just to make sure that that wasn't the solution to the chapter. But yeah, this time we're facing Morva, and normally he is a Draco zombie in vanilla, but this time he's a Sage with Excalibur, so he gets +5 speed. I'm sure he gets weighed down a little. Yeah, he does. So he doesn't quite have as much speed as Kalak did, but he's still pretty fast. And this map is all Sages and Mage Knights as enemies. And we get Tiki. And apparently Kaga talks to Tiki. I love Tiki's life story. It's very relatable. I also agree with everything she said. Don't sexualize the lowlies, guys. Don't do it. Daddy Kaga's here. That's not creepy at all. I love Kaga in this game, man. I love Kaga in every game, to be honest. So Tiki, just like Marth, is 19 levels in and 99 EXP, so just one battle will get her to 20. And just like Marth, and just unlike Carol, she doesn't have the amazing growth that you would want her to have, but she's still pretty good, I think. I mean, good as in as good as a unit can be when you join this late, but she seems okay. And now I'm just trying to figure out where do I put Void. Like, I already prepped this chapter, of course. I know what strat I'm going to use. Just making sure I'm putting her in the right place. Use a Pure Water, so because she needs to take a hit on enemy phase, and these Sages 2-hit KO her, but they have Adapt, so in case they proc Adapt, I don't want them to kill me. This Sage barely fails the 2-hit KO Kirsten, but I have a use of Physic available on this player phase if she gets hit, so there's no real risk here. I'll actually get use out of Tiki by killing one of these Sages to make it safer here. So once again, the plan is to 2-turn the chapter. Void can walk to the gate if she got like 3 turns of time, but we need to speed it up a little. It takes like 2 warp distances to do so. But thankfully we do have Jake and Celicia on this side, and they make it pretty easy to do so. Jake spams a Berserk but misses. I kind of wish he hit, that would have been funny. The upper left is pretty much inconsequential. I just put a bunch of units there for fun. I use Tam, or Tim. I think I called him Tam before, actually. That was pretty bad. And I don't mean in chapter 1, I mean like last chapter. Yeah, I use Taldura Sage for a purpose you'll see later. I rarely boost Jerome. I realized later that the boost from Arc was unnecessary because Edgeworth already provides Rally Spectrum and Rally Resistance. But yeah, Jerome now has 24 resistance as well as a 13 resistance boost, so magic pretty much cannot touch him at all. And this is very nice because he is, I think, the only unit I have that has good resistance, but also hits on defense, so he's very good against these Sages and Mage Knights, and it makes him the perfect boss killer for this map. So even though I'm wasting a bunch of EXP on Jerome, since he's level 20 already, I'm totally fine with this, because the EXP just doesn't seem valuable to me anymore. I know I've said this before, but that's just how I feel. And we get the Excalibur, and that's going to be great on Cilicia for sure. Now, because I killed the boss, these other enemies are going to get onto the gate, and that means Jerome will probably miss at some point. He only has 6 short spear uses left to begin with, so he's not going to kill everything, but he doesn't need to. I just need to have a path cleared, basically. And on player phase, I also have an action available to kill anyone who gets on the gate. Like, I'm sorry if you made these chapters and you were hoping that I would play them out, but I've played so much Fire Emblem, especially of this hack, that it made me think, yeah, I could show you guys how me killing enemies goes, but it's mostly the same units killing these things, right? It's like Jerome and Cilicia and Tim, because they're the best at it, and it's very discouraging to me to play it slower. I actually prefer puzzling for a quick clear and kind of showing off some cool strats that way. But if you want to watch me slowly go through chapters and dying over and over sometimes and generally failing, feel free to check out my earlier videos, because it's only been the last few videos where I did this. Also, my video player just totally screwed up, so I hope I'm still in sync audio-wise. But yeah, I use a rescue and a warp on Void to get her the distance she needs to get to the throne. And then once again we have a bit more self-improvement to do, just to get a couple of extra points somewhere, maybe. Break an X Reaver just to get it out of the way. My convoy is like full again, so I need to clear it out. And here's something that I did want to show off, and this is the reason why I lured the stage over. I finally have the chance to do a completely opportunity cost free triangle attack with the Annas. Eat your heart out, Jake. There we go. Unfortunately, they didn't really have a like conversation talk thing like they usually do when they're like, let's go, triangle attack. That's unfortunate. So is this level up, and so is the fact that I didn't get these spoiled, but can't have everything. So yeah, that's chapter 28 in 2 turns. Hope you enjoyed this amazing demonstration of how good the Warp Staff is. And we get the Super Blitz Lance, which means we get to avenge her entire family, apparently. Great backstory. Great developments. Thanks. I'll show off the Blitz Lance next time. Bye, guys.